Hello to all that are taking the time to watch this video that pertains to the terms of use contract on the Priceline.com's webpage. In this presentation, I'm going to attempt to answer a few questions regarding the terms of use services with my opinion. We will discuss if their terms of use clauses are valid and contractual in their nature, also if they should be legally binding as a contractual agreement. Then I will attempt to walk you through the website. However, since this terms of use are fairly long read, I will attempt to shorten it to make it easier to get to the point. We will also touch bases on if the users are bound to the terms of use of services clauses and should they have to sign some form of agreeing to the terms like clicking I agree link. We will also talk about if a dispute arises, are customers allowed to take legal action, i.e. lawsuits against Priceline? And finally, what type of changes I would recommend to their terms of use clauses. We will see if any of these statements are unenforceable and in the process discover what it means for Priceline.com users alike. For those who may not know, Priceline is a website that offers prices on services like car rentals, hotels, airline passage, and or ocean line cruises. They also work with many third-party affiliates, forwarding users to services they offer. Starting with the first question of is the terms of service agreement was presented by Priceline.com valid contract, we must first define what constitutes a legal contract valid in the court of law. According to Nolo.com, a legally valid contract consists of two elements, which are one, all parties need to be in agreement with that one party sets the terms and the other agrees to the terms. Two, something of value needs to be in exchange, such as money, goods, or services, or something of value, or like a promise for an exchange of item. With that being said, Priceline's terms of the agreement would there not be a legal contract, and for the fact that simply using the site does not constitute a legal agreement. In the case of Lawn Systems Incorporated versus NetScout Service Level Court, the court found that the party was obligated to adhere to the terms of use presented by the site holder because they clicked an I agree button on the page that was at the end of the outline agreement. Priceline.com, however, has no such indication on their site to prove that the viewer has read and agreed to the terms. In my opinion, by definition of a legal contract, this cannot be legally binding for the reasons there is no proof of both parties agreeing to the terms in writing or a digital acknowledgement such as an I agree button. The next question is almost parallel to the first. Should visitors be bound by the terms of service of I have to click agree? This goes with the previous statement that they should be given the option to agree to the terms of services. In my opinion, this button should be present in all cases when a person is expected to adhere to the terms of another. In the case of Schnabel versus Trill Giant Corp 2013, the Schnabel brothers had a dispute with Trill Giant on receiving a refund for services after a subscription was canceled. This would result in the class action lawsuit. Trill Giant Corp tried to avoid court by using the written clause in the terms of services to force the case into arbitration. The court agreed that the Schnabel bros never agreed to the terms and conditions, including the cause, on arbitration. One way they could have made it enforceable would be to use an e-signature at the bottom of the terms or an I agree click button. Priceline, as previously mentioned, does not use this practice and could suffer the same fate as Trill Giant Corp. The next question asked was, if you have a dispute with Priceline, are you able to sue them? Why or why not? As previously mentioned in the Trill Giant Corp case, without proof of the two parties' agreement in terms of services, consumers may not be liable to adhere to any of those outlined terms. And since Priceline did not take the time to make consumers show proof of that said acknowledgement, they may be in for a rude awakening. In section name A of the terms and agreements for Priceline, it is stated that the terms are governed by the state of Connecticut in the United States. If there never was a contractual agreement A consumer dispute may be under another state's jurisdiction altogether, depending on where the claim was filed. In Section 3 of Clause A, they state that all claims are mandatorily required to go to arbitration or small claims court, as also seen in the Trial Giant Corp case. This may not always be so. The last question that was asked is what kind of changes I would recommend and why. I would make a few changes. For the most important and immediate change I would make would be people are not able to use the services before they have scrolled the full length of the terms and use agreement and click that they have agreed to the terms. This makes it a legally binding contract and absolves Priceline.com from any damages thereafter. After that, I think the length and use of so much legalese in the clause should be reworded into layman's. It almost seems that they intentionally made it somewhat difficult to read, in my opinion. This could lead to claims that a person was not able to understand what they were told, and a case could be made on lack of knowledge in court. Making it easier to understand can resolve this potential problem. Pricelines seem to word this into taking little to no responsibility in errors created by their site security breaches on personal information or all-out cancellations of accounts, as seen in sections E, G, and P. In my opinion, this is poor business practice and one that can cost someone much headache. One way to address this security issue would be to hire a trusted third-party firm to oversee the portion and inform the user that the third party and show a link to their terms of services, which may also have them click an I agree button. I would like to thank all of you for taking the time to view this presentation and hope what I have covered was both informational and insightful. Thank you.